Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we cut through the noise and deliver the insights that genuinely matter for your professional journey. Today, we're plunging headfirst into a topic that's not just trending, but actively reshaping the very fabric of our working lives: artificial intelligence. Here's a fact that might just make you sit up a little straighter. Nearly 40% of Americans are already using generative AI, whether they realize it or not, either at home or in their workplace.
Wow, 40% already. That's moving fast.
It really is. To put that into perspective, that's a pace of adoption that actually outstrips the early diffusion of personal computers and even the internet itself.
Faster than the internet's initial spread. That's significant.
Exactly. This isn't some distant sci-fi concept we're debating for tomorrow. It's happening right now, transforming how we interact with information, how we create, and crucially, how we get our jobs done. So for you, our listener, the critical question becomes, what does this incredibly rapid adoption of AI truly mean for your specific job, for your chosen profession, and for the future of work itself? If you already possess a high-level understanding of what generative AI is capable of, but you're looking to grasp its practical, real-world implications directly on occupations, then consider this your essential deep dive. We're going beyond the hype to the empirical evidence.
And that's exactly what makes our deep dive today so unique. It's grounded in a truly groundbreaking study from Microsoft Research. Instead of relying on predictions or theoretical models, they analyzed 200,000 anonymized conversations with Microsoft Bing Copilot from 2024.
200,000 conversations. That's a massive data set.
It really is. Think about that for a moment. This isn't just another speculative paper. It's an empirical, boots-on-the-ground look at actual usage, how real people are interacting with AI in their daily lives. It's incredibly rare to get this kind of direct, unvarnished insight into the emerging AI-driven workplace.
Our mission today is to unpack this fascinating data with you. We're going to pinpoint which specific work activities are most impacted by AI, identify which occupations are already feeling the greatest effects.
And critically, delve into the inherent limitations of this study.
Absolutely, because understanding what it can't tell us is just as important as what it can. But most importantly, we're here to extract actionable insights for you. How can you use this information to not just navigate, but truly enhance your professional path? We'll look at the short-term thinking, the next 6 to 18 months, and then project further down the road, helping you shape your long-term career strategy in this AI-accelerated world. Let's start by laying the groundwork for how they even began to measure AI's reach. Okay, let's unpack this core idea the study introduces. They frame generative AI as a general-purpose technology, putting it in the same league as the steam engine, electricity, or even the personal computer.
Right, a GPT.
That term sounds big, almost revolutionary. What's the real-world implication of AI being called that, especially for how its impact might spread throughout the economy?
That's a really insightful question, because calling something a general-purpose technology, or GPT, isn't just a label. It's a powerful statement about its potential. Historically, GPTs are transformative, not because they do one thing incredibly well, but because they fundamentally change how everything else is done.
So they ripple outwards.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They don't just affect a single industry or a narrow set of tasks. They permeate diverse sectors of the economy, creating entirely new ways of working and living. Think about the steam engine. It didn't just power trains. It revolutionized factories, made agriculture more efficient, and completely reshaped transportation.
Right, or electricity.
Or electricity. It didn't just light up homes. It enabled modern manufacturing, refrigeration, communication, and ultimately the digital age. What makes them general purpose is their incredible versatility and their capacity to accelerate impact with each technical advancement, leading to this cascading effect across industries and completely unforeseen applications.
Okay, I see. So versatility is key.
Precisely. And generative AI, especially large language models like Copilot, fits this description precisely because of its remarkable adaptability. It has the capability to improve or speed up an unbelievably varied range of tasks, from assisting with complex medical diagnoses by sifting through vast research papers, to accelerating software development by writing code, or even streamlining legal analysis by summarizing precedents.
So it's not just one trick.
Not at all. The sheer breadth of its applicability, the fact that it can be applied to so many different problems and contexts, is why it's considered a strong candidate for this powerful designation. It's not just another tool in the toolbox, it's a foundational shift in how we approach intellectual work.
That makes perfect sense. It's about being foundational, not just functional.
Hmm.
And speaking of nuanced understandings, the study introduces a core methodological innovation that really helps us get beyond the surface, distinguishing between a user goal and an AI action.
Yes, this is really important.
The paper provides a great example. If the user is trying to figure out how to print a document, the user goal is to operate office equipment, while the AI action is to train others to use equipment. Why is this seemingly subtle distinction so crucial for truly understanding how AI is impacting work? It feels like it moves beyond a simplistic AI does X to something much richer.
It absolutely does, and this distinction is vital because it moves us past that simplistic, often fear-driven view of AI, merely automating away tasks. By meticulously separating user goal from AI action, the study achieves a much more granular and frankly accurate understanding of the AI's actual role in a given interaction.
Okay.
The user goal tells us what the human is trying to accomplish using AI's assistance. Perhaps they're gathering information for a report, drafting an email, or trying to debug a piece of code. It reveals the human's intent, their objective,
How they're using the tool.
right? How they are leveraging the AI as a tool to extend their own capabilities. The AI action, on the other hand, describes what the AI itself is performing in response to that user goal. So if a user's goal is to resolve a computer problem, the AI's action might be providing technical support by generating troubleshooting steps.
Ah, okay. So they aren't always the same thing.
Exactly, and that's the crucial part. Sometimes they largely overlap. Like when a user asks the AI to proofread an email and the AI edits it, both the user goal and the AI action involve editing written materials. But often, as the printing example clearly shows, they are complementary but distinct. This dual classification allows the researchers to see not just how AI is assisting people in achieving their objectives, but also what specific, often quite different tasks the AI is actually executing as a direct output.
Got it.
It gives us a clearer, more nuanced picture of augmentation versus direct AI performance without directly making those broader economic conclusions. It's about the capability demonstrated in that specific interaction.
So it's about understanding the collaboration, not just the output. And to make sense of all these different tasks that people engage in, the study relies on a really interesting, widely used framework, the ORNet database.
Ah, yes, or net. Standard stuff in labor economics.
For those unfamiliar, this database essentially deconstructs occupations into hierarchical work activities. The study specifically homed in on intermediate work activities, or IWs, these 332 distinct categories. My problem is, why this particular level of granularity? Why not more specific tasks or even broader, more general categories? What was the strategic choice there?
That's a good question. The ORNet framework is hierarchical, right? And focusing on intermediate work activities, or IWAs, provides a just right level of granularity for this kind of study.
Not too broad, not too narrow.
Exactly. If they'd gone too granular down to specific tasks, there are actually over 18,000 tasks in ORNet with a lot of redundancy. It would have been nearly impossible to accurately classify every conversational snippet to such a specific task.
Right, especially since different jobs might have similar tiny tasks.
Precisely. Imagine trying to categorize every single query about, say, formatting a paragraph. IWAs, however, are more general than specific tasks, but still concrete enough to be meaningful and distinct. This allows the study to see how AI capabilities demonstrated in one conversation.
Like debugging code.
Right, like helping someone debug a line of code might apply to many different jobs. For example, the IWA program computer systems or production equipment is a single category, but it applies to a wide range of occupations: data scientists, web developers, database architects, and many more.
So it scales the finding across roles.
Exactly. By using IWA, the study can effectively identify how a particular instance of AI usage translates into potential impact across all the occupations where that activity is relevant, rather than needing to guess a user-specific occupation. It significantly increases the accuracy and applicability of the findings across the broader workforce without getting bogged down in minutia.
So it's about capturing the essence of the work and how AI can plug into that without needing to know your exact job title. Now, the study doesn't just look at whether AI is being used. It introduces a much more sophisticated metric called the AI Applicability score.
Ah, yes, the core metric.
This isn't just about presence. It's the study's secret sauce for truly understanding how deeply and effectively AI is integrating into core work. What exactly goes into this score, and why is it so important for understanding AI's real impact?
That's right. The AI applicability score is the central metric for gauging potential impact, and it's quite clever in how it combines multiple dimensions. It's a holistic measure. It integrates three critical components to determine if AI is truly relevant and effective for an occupation's work activities.
Okay, what are they?
First, there's the element of non-trivial AI usage. They don't just count a single instance. An IWA is considered covered if it appears frequently enough in the Copilot data above a certain threshold. I think it was 0.05% of activity share.
So it has to be used consistently.
Right. This ensures they're looking at established patterns of actual meaningful interaction, not just a one-off mention. If AI is only used once in 100,000 conversations for a particular activity, it's not really indicative of broad applicability.
Makes sense. What's second?
Second, they assess task success. This is crucial because usage alone doesn't equal effectiveness.
How do they measure success? Just thumbs up, down.
They measure success in two robust ways: explicit user feedback, that familiar thumbs up or thumbs down, and an advanced large language model-based classifier that determines if the AI successfully completed the user's task.
Oh, interesting. So AI evaluating AI success.
In a way, yes. It provides a robust measure of whether the AI is actually helpful for that specific activity. If users give positive feedback and the LLM determines the task was completed, that IWA contributes more positively to the score. It's not just what the AI did, but how well it did it.
Okay, usage and success. What's the third leg?
And third, there's the scope of impact. This is a fascinating layer of nuance. Another LLM classifies how much work within an IWA Copilot demonstrates the ability to assist or perform.
How much of the task it can handle.
Exactly. This isn't just a simple yes-no. It's on a Likert scale. None. Minimal, limited, moderate, significant, or complete. For example, if a user asks what a mitochondrion is, and the AI answers, that's minimal impact on an IWA like research biological phenomena.
Yeah.
But if the AI helps edit an entire multi-page report, that's significant impact on edit-written documents.
Ah, so it captures the depth of the assistance.
Precisely. This component captures the breadth of the AI's capability within that particular work activity. How much of the overall activity AI is truly touching. So, to summarize, the AI applicability score isn't just a simple count of mentions. It captures if there is non-trivial AI usage that successfully completes activities, and if that usage corresponds to significant portions of an occupation's tasks.
Okay, that's much clearer. It's a really multifaceted score.
It is. It's a very intelligent approach to quantify AI's demonstrated relevance to work activities in the real world. Now, here's where it gets really interesting, and it's a critical caveat the study directly addresses: the common public discourse around AI.
The whole robots are taking our jobs discussion.
Exactly. There's a lot of talk about whether AI will lead to widespread automation and job loss or more augmentation and wage increases, but the study clearly states it only measures AI usage and capability, not the downstream economic impacts like wage changes or actual job loss.
That seems like a really important distinction to make.
It is. And this is exactly where the powerful ATM analogy becomes so relevant and why the study explicitly calls it out.
Right, the ATM example. They caution us against concluding that a high AI applicability score automatically means automation and job displacement.
Precisely. They point to the ATM example. These machines undeniably automated a core repetitive task of bank tellers handling deposits and withdrawals.
You'd think that would mean fewer tellers.
You would. Yet surprisingly, the number of bank teller jobs didn't plummet. It actually increased.
Increased?
Banks found they could open more branches because the cost of operating them decreased with ATMs handling the basic transactions. And tellers shifted their focus to more complex tasks like relationship building, problem solving, and selling financial products.
Ah, so the job changed, it didn't disappear. My question is, okay, so the ATM example is incredibly powerful for understanding augmentation, but isn't there a critical difference here?
Go on.
ATMs replaced a very specific repetitive task. LLMs, as you just said, are general purpose. Doesn't that make the risk of broader displacement potentially higher or at least different? How do we balance that perspective with the study's warning?
That's a very sharp observation and a crucial nuance to address. You're absolutely right. While the ATM analogy perfectly illustrates the concept of augmentation rather than pure displacement, generative AI as a general purpose technology operates on a different scale of versatility.
It touches more things.
Exactly. ATMs automated a singular, well-defined process. LLMs, however, can assist with a vast array of cognitive tasks across numerous domains. This does mean their potential impact is far broader, touching many more job functions simultaneously.
So the risk is different.
The potential scope is different, yes. However, the study's caution still holds true, perhaps even more powerfully, for GPTs. Increased productivity due to technology, even a highly versatile one like AI, doesn't automatically or deterministically lead to job displacement. The ultimate outcome is driven by business choices.
How companies decide to use the tech.
Precisely. How organizations choose to restructure roles, reallocate resources, and rethink their service models. Will they use AI to automate certain tasks and reduce headcount? Or will they leverage AI to make their existing workforce vastly more productive, enabling them to expand services, reach more customers, or innovate in new areas?
It's a strategic choice, not a tech mandate.
Exactly. This study, by its very design, provides incredibly valuable usage data. It measures what AI can do and what people are using it for right now. It shows the demonstrated capabilities in the areas of current impact. But it explicitly does not provide economic forecasts about job numbers or wages. It merely lays out the current frontier of AI's relevance to work activities.
So high applicability means AI is good at those tasks, not that the jobs are doomed.
Correct. It's about potential demonstrated capability, not prophecy. Whether a company decides to automate, reskill, or expand is a business decision, not an inevitable technological outcome.
That's a vital distinction. So we've zoomed in on the mechanics of the study. Now let's pull back and look at the forest for the trees. Using the highest level of detail in the ONET framework, the Generalized Work Activities, or GWAs, what does the macroscopic view tell us?
The GWAs, the big picture.
When you look at these really big picture categories, what surprising patterns jump out at you about where AI is and isn't showing up in the current Copilot usage?
Looking at the GWAs offers a remarkably clear contrast, and frankly some reassuring patterns for those concerned about AI's reach. We immediately see two broad clusters where large language model chatbots are quite ill-suited and are notably less prevalent in Copilot usage compared to their overall presence in the workforce.
Okay, what are they? Things AI isn't doing much of.
The first and least surprising cluster involves physical activities, things like handling and moving objects and performing general physical activities.
Well, yeah, can't type its way into lifting a box.
Pretty much. It's almost a chuckle-worthy observation, but LLMs don't have hands or bodies. So physical tasks, whether it's lifting boxes, operating machinery, or performing a massage, are clearly outside their current direct capability. You won't find Copilot assembling furniture or cleaning a house, at least not directly.
Makes sense. What's the second cluster?
The second cluster of activities where Copilot is less prevalent involves monitoring and guiding. This includes GWAs, such as monitoring processes, monitoring resources, inspecting equipment, controlling machines, and guiding subordinates.
So hands-off management or oversight.
Right. While an AI can report on a process or advise on how to guide someone, it's not actually performing the real-time, nuanced monitoring or the direct, empathetic guidance of people or physical systems that these GWAs entail.
It can give you the checklist, but not do the inspection.
Exactly. It can generate a checklist for an inspection, but it can't physically inspect the equipment.
Okay, so physical stuff and monitoring guiding are low. What's high?
Now, contrast this with the GWAs that are more prevalent in Copilot data than in the general workforce. These clearly and overwhelmingly align with knowledge work.
Here we go.
Getting information, interpreting information, thinking creatively, updating and using knowledge, and working with computers. This shows a strong concentration of current AI usage in tasks that are cognitive, information-based, and often require creative problem-solving or synthesis.
So the thinking and information jobs.
That's the core. This macro view immediately tells us that generative AI, at least in its current LLM form, is fundamentally transforming knowledge work, not physical labor or direct operational oversight. It's assisting the brain, not the brawn.
That distinction between the physical and the cognitive is incredibly clear from that GWA overview. This also raises an important question. When we look at these high-level activities, do we primarily see the AI acting as a helper, or is it actually performing the work itself?
Good question. Does the user goal versus AI action split show up here too?
Exactly. How does that distinction we talked about earlier play out at this broad GWA level? Are humans still the drivers, or is AI taking the wheel more often than we think?
It plays out very distinctly, and it reveals a fascinating division of cognitive labor, if you will, between the human user and the AI. It highlights AI's role as an enabler rather than a primary executor in many instances.
Okay, how so?
On the AI action side, that is, what the AI does directly in response to a query, the prevalence is much higher in GWAs related to service to the user. This includes categories like assisting caring for others, providing advice, coaching, and training. It also shows up strongly in general communication GWAs, such as communicating with people and communicating with supervisors.
So the AI is acting like an advisor or teacher.
Essentially, yes. This tells us the AI is often generating text, explanations, or suggestions for the user, essentially acting as an informational or advisory agent, almost like a digital consultant or teaching assistant.
Okay, and what about the user side, the user goals?
Conversely, the user goals, what the user seeks assistance with from the AI, are more prevalent in GWAs related to knowledge work execution. These are the active verbs the human is employing: getting information, thinking creatively, updating and using knowledge, making decisions, and analyzing data.
So the human is doing the core thinking and asking AI for help with it.
That's what it looks like. The human is clearly the one with the core objective, the one needing to execute on complex cognitive tasks. They are leveraging the AI to amplify their own intellectual output.
Yeah.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, it means people are fundamentally using Copilot to provide services for the execution of their own knowledge work activities.
While the AI provides the service to the user.
Precisely. While the human is driving the core intellectual task and making the final decisions, the AI often acts as a coach, an advisor, a teacher, or a comprehensive research assistant in that process. It's an interesting collaborative dynamic emerging from the data, reinforcing the idea of AI as an augmentation tool rather than a fully autonomous agent in these high-level work functions.
Fascinating. So the human is still very much in the driver's seat, directing AI as a powerful co-pilot. Now, let's grab that magnifying glass we talked about earlier and get even more specific. Moving from the broad GWAs to the more granular intermediate work activities, or IWAs.
Down to the nitty-gritty.
Exactly. What are people most commonly trying to accomplish with Copilot? What are their top user goals at this really detailed level of daily tasks?
At the IWA level, where we get down to the brass tacks of daily work, the most common user goals clearly group into three main categories, reinforcing that knowledge work focus we saw at the GWA level.
Okay, what's the first one?
First, a huge portion of activity is centered around gathering information. This includes IWA, like gather information from various sources, obtain information about goods or services, maintain knowledge in an area of expertise, and read documents or materials.
So using it like a super researcher?
Basically, yes. This highlights how Copilot is often used as an incredibly advanced search engine or a hyper-efficient research assistant, helping users quickly access, summarize, and synthesize vast amounts of data that would take a human hours to sift through. Think of it as your personal, super-fast librarian.
Got it. Information gathering. What's next?
Second, we see a strong prevalence of goals related to writing, editing, or developing content. This covers activities such as develop content for presentations or publications, write material for artistic or commercial purposes, and create visual designs or displays.
Content creation and polishing. Makes sense for an LLM.
Absolutely. This points directly to AI's utility as a powerful content generation and refinement tool. It's assisting with everything from drafting emails and reports, to brainstorming creative marketing ideas, to even structuring a novel or screenplay. It's becoming an indispensable first draft generator or a tireless editor.
Okay, gathering info, creating content. What's the third major category?
And the third major category is communicating to others. This includes IWAs, like provide information to clients or customers, provide general assistance to others, explain technical details of products or services, and explain regulations, policies, or procedures.
So helping people explain things clearly.
You got it. This demonstrates how users leverage AI to help them articulate complex information clearly and efficiently to various audiences, whether it's a customer, a colleague, or a student. It's a communication enhancer, helping you sound clearer, more concise, or more thorough.
So finding info, creating content from it, and communicating that content seems logical.
Exactly. In essence, people are largely coming to Copilot to help them find information, create content based on that information, and then communicate that content effectively.
That makes perfect sense. It aligns with what we'd intuitively expect from an LLM. And what about the flip side? What are the AI's most common actions in these conversations? What is the AI actually doing in response to those user goals? Is it just mirroring the user's goals, or does it have its own distinct set of common actions?
The AI's actions tell a complementary but sometimes subtly different story. It's very much aligned with its role as a service provider to the user, acting as an active agent in information processing and delivery.
So it's actively doing things, not just responding passively.
Right. The common verbs associated with these AI actions are typically verbs like respond, provide, present, and assist. Similar to user goals, these AI actions also fall into three main categories. First, there's gathering and reporting information. Here, the AI often performs activities like gather information from various sources, prepare informational or instructional materials, and develop content.
So if the user wants info, the AI gathers and packages it.
Exactly. Summarizing it, structuring it into a usable format.
Okay. What's the second AI action category?
Second, a significant portion of AI actions involves explaining information. This includes IWAs, such as present research or technical information, explain technical details of products or services, and explain regulations, policies, or procedures.
This is where it acts like that teacher or explainer again.
Precisely. This is where the AI truly acts as a clear explainer or teacher, breaking down complex topics into digestible formats, translating jargon, or summarizing dense documents.
And the third?
And third, there's direct communication with the user. Examples include respond to customer problems or inquiries, provide assistance to others, provide information to others, and advise others. In these cases, the AI is directly interacting with the user, offering guidance, answers, or problem-solving steps. It's not just a passive tool, it's an active conversational partner.
So it's gathering, explaining, and communicating to the user.
Exactly. Combining these, it solidifies the pattern. Humans are directing AI to help them gather, process, and disseminate information, while the AI helps by actively gathering, explaining, and communicating information to the user. It's a highly synergistic relationship,
They have real collaboration.
with the AI augmenting the user's information and communication capabilities by performing the heavy lifting of information retrieval and clear articulation.
Here's where it gets really interesting, and it truly challenges some of our assumptions.
Ah, the asymmetry.
Yes. You might expect the user's goal and the AI's action to be perfectly aligned, or at least largely overlapping. But the study found a surprising and rather profound asymmetry. What does that look like, and what are the implications of these disjoint activities for how we understand human-AI collaboration?
This asymmetry is truly one of the most striking findings in the study, and it really made me pause.
Okay.
You're right. One might assume a strong overlap. If I ask AI to draft an email, the AI drafts an email.
But the statistics are quite revealing.
Hit me with the number.
A significant 40% of conversations have entirely disjoint sets of user goal and AI action IWAs.
40%. No overlap at all.
None. Meaning the activity the user was trying to achieve and the activity that AI performed had no IWA categories in common at all. That's nearly half.
Wow. Okay. What else?
Even more broadly, 96% of conversations have more IWAs unique to each side than in common.
96%. Yeah. This indicates that even when there's some overlap, each party, human and AI, is often engaged in a distinct set of activities, creating a true division of cognitive labor rather than just parallel processing.
So they're often doing fundamentally different things, even when working together.
That's what the data suggests. This profound asymmetry implies a sophisticated, almost complementary division of cognitive labor. Overall, the AI tends to do more advising, teaching, and information provision to the user, while the user side involves more obtaining information, reading, and researching for their own purposes.
Like the AI is the giver and the human is the taker and user of info.
Sort of, yeah. It's like the AI is specializing in the giving of information and guidance, while the human is specializing in the taking and application of that information. Let me give you some concrete examples from the study of IWAs, where the AI is much more likely to assist, meaning it's a user goal, versus actually perform, meaning it's an AI action.
Okay, examples help.
For instance, activities with a physical component, like perform athletic activities or operate office equipment, are almost exclusively user goals assisted by AI.
Right, AI can't do push-ups for you.
Exactly. The AI can advise you on your workout routine, suggest exercises, or tell you how to fix a printer. But it's not physically doing the push-ups or clearing a paper jam itself. Similarly, tasks requiring direct physical interaction with other external entities, such as purchase goods or services or execute financial transactions, are user goals.
It can guide you, but not click buy or wire money.
Right. The AI can guide you through a purchasing process, tell you where to find a product or explain payment options, but it isn't literally making the purchase or wiring money. So Copilot might help a chef plan a menu, but it's not going to chop the onions for tonight's dinner, at least. Not yet.
Okay, so that's where AI assists but doesn't perform. What about the reverse, where AI performs more?
Conversely, activities where the AI is much more likely to be the performer, AI action, are those related to training, coaching, teaching, and advising. This includes IWIs like train others on operational procedures, coach others, teach academic subjects, or advise others on products or services.
So it's directly generating the teaching or advice.
Exactly. In these cases, the AI itself is generating the instructional content, providing the advice, or acting as the teacher directly to the user. This highlights AI's strength as an informational and advisory agent, directly serving a purpose, rather than just being a tool the human uses to do their own work. It's a fundamental split in how humans and AI are thinking about and executing tasks,
That's really fascinating.
with AI stepping into distinct advisory and informational roles you might not expect.
That's a fascinating and surprising split. It clarifies AI's unique contribution. Beyond just what activities people are doing with AI, the study looked at how successfully these interactions are. What did they find about user satisfaction and task completion across these various work activities? Are people generally happy with Copilot's performance across the board, or are there specific strengths and weaknesses?
This is where we gauge the practical utility of AI in the real world. The overall findings are quite positive. All common IWAs had 50% or higher positive feedback from users.
So generally helpful.
Generally helpful, yeah. Suggesting that people find Copilot useful overall. That's a good baseline. When we drill down, however, we see distinct patterns, revealing AI's sweet spots and its current limitations.
Okay, where does it shine?
Areas with consistently high satisfaction and task completion include writing and editing text, IWAs like edit written materials or documents, and write material for artistic or commercial purposes. This aligns perfectly with AI's well-known strengths in content generation, grammar, style, and refinement. It's a natural fit.
No surprise there.
Not really. Also, researching information. Activities such as research healthcare issues, research laws, precedents, or other legal data, and maintain knowledge in area of expertise. This speaks to AI's ability to quickly access, synthesize, and summarize vast amounts of information.
Super researcher again.
Exactly. And also, evaluating or purchasing goods, for example, purchase goods or services, and evaluate characteristics of products or technologies. Here, AI helps users make informed decisions or navigate complex purchasing processes.
Okay, so writing, researching, and some decision support seems strong. Where does it struggle more?
On the other hand, activities that received lower satisfaction and completion rates were primarily in data analysis.
Yeah.
IWAs like process digital or online data, calculate financial data, and analyze scientific or applied data.
Interesting. Why do you think that is?
Well, while AI can assist with certain aspects of data processing, it seems to struggle more with complex, nuanced analytical tasks where human interpretation, critical judgment, and validation are still paramount. It might crunch numbers, but it's not yet offering deep strategic insights from them reliably, it seems.
Needs that human layer of interpretation.
Seems so. The other area is visual design. Activities such as create visual designs or displays, or arrange displays or decorations.
AI image generation is getting better, but maybe not quite there for pro use yet.
It appears so. AI-generated visuals, while improving rapidly, still often lack the sophisticated aesthetic judgment, nuanced creative output, or precise control that users might expect for professional-grade design work based on this feedback.
So, writing and research. Good. Complex analysis and visual design. Less so currently.
That's the key insight here, yeah. Copilot truly excels at the writing and researching components of knowledge work, but it currently struggles more with the complex analytical tasks that require deep interpretation, and with the subjective and highly creative aspects of visual components. Also, another interesting point, there's a noticeable gap when AI directly provides support or advice.
Like acting as the coach itself.
Right. That tends to get lower satisfaction compared to when it helps the user provide that support or advice to others.
So people prefer it as a tool for them rather than a direct replacement for interaction.
That's what it suggests. Users seem to prefer AI as a tool to empower their actions, rather than as a direct, unmediated replacement for human-to-human interaction or nuanced decision-making.
That's a really important distinction. People want AI to empower them, not just take over. Now, the study introduces another crucial measure that goes even deeper than success rates: scope of impact.
Ah, yes, scope. How much of the task can it actually cover?
Exactly. This is about the extent to which AI's capability in a conversation translates to the full breadth of work in an IWA. It's not just if AI can help, but how much of a given task it can meaningfully cover. What does this reveal about where AI can truly make a difference in a job?
The scope of impact metric provides a really deeper layer of understanding beyond just success rates. It tells us how much of a given work activity the AI can meaningfully assist with or perform. It's about how comprehensive its help can be.
So where does it have the broadest scope?
We see the highest scope of impact in categories that largely mirror the high satisfaction completion areas: gathering information, writing, providing information, advising, and explaining.
Yeah.
This consistently confirms that AI has a broad and deep capability in these cognitive, information-centric tasks. When it helps with writing, for instance, it's not just generating a sentence or two. It can contribute to a significant portion of a document.
Like drafting whole sections.
Right? Drafting outlines, sections, or even entire first drafts. This means it's not just a minor assist, it's potentially a major force multiplier in those areas.
And where's the scope lowest? Still analysis and design.
Conversely, the lowest scope of impact is again seen in areas like data analysis and visual design, where AI's assistance is more limited in breadth. But it also extends to IWAs involving complex, nuanced interaction with external people.
Ah, the human-to-human stuff.
Exactly. Things like confer with clients to determine needs or order specifications, coordinate with others to resolve problems, or investigate individuals. This suggests that while AI can certainly assist with parts of these tasks, perhaps by drafting a summary for a client meeting or outlining negotiation points, it can't cover the full spectrum.
The nuances of interaction.
Right. Nuanced human interaction, reading body language, building rapport, ethical judgment, or truly empathetic problem-solving required in these roles. The human touch elements are simply not within its scope.
That makes intuitive sense.
And there's another crucial difference uncovered here, which echoes our earlier discussion on user goals versus AI actions.
Go on.
AI consistently has a lower impact scope on the AI action side than on the user goal side.
Meaning?
Meaning AI can help users with a broader fraction of their work, user goal, than it can perform directly, AI action.
Can you give an example?
Sure.
Yeah.
The AI may only be able to perform a limited part of provide general assistance, maybe generating a standard FAQ response, but it can assist the user with a much broader portion of their efforts to provide general assistance to others, like helping them draft personalized emails, research specific solutions, outline troubleshooting steps.
So it empowers the user to do more of their task than it can do autonomously.
Exactly. It broadens the user's capability more than it replaces it directly. If we connect this to the bigger picture, it raises an important question. People are instinctively using LLMs for tasks where the AI can have the broadest potential impact on their work.
Maximizing the leverage.
Right, even if the AI doesn't always complete those tasks with 100% success on its own. This is a subtle but profound insight into current AI adoption patterns. It implies users are looking for leverage and efficiency across a wide swath of their duties, not just perfect execution of a single step.
That distinction really crystallizes AI's current role as an amplifier of human capability. So if we take all these measures, usage, task success, and scope of impact, and roll them up into the central AI applicability score, which occupations are currently at the top of the list, experiencing the most direct impact from AI as measured by this study, who's feeling the tremors most profoundly?
Based on this comprehensive AI applicability score, the occupations at the very top of the list are overwhelmingly those involved in knowledge work and communication. It's genuinely fascinating to see this play out in specific job titles.
Okay, let's hear some examples from the top.
Leading the pack at a remarkable 98% of work activities overlapping with frequent Copilot tasks are interpreters and translators.
98%. Wow, that's almost total overlap.
It's incredibly high. Makes perfect sense given AI's fundamental prowess in language, translation, and cross-cultural communication. Other highly impacted roles include writers and authors, technical writers, proofreaders, and editors, all of whom heavily rely on language generation, refinement, and content creation.
The content creators.
Exactly. It's like having a tireless writing assistant. We also see a significant presence of roles in customer-facing communication, such as sales representatives of services, customer service representatives, and telemarketers.
Why them specifically?
This highlights AI's strength in generating persuasive communication, responding to inquiries, and assisting with client interactions, often streamlining the initial stages of communication.
Makes sense. Any tech roles?
Yes. On the technical side, computer and mathematical roles like CNC tool programmers, mathematicians, data scientists, and web developers also show high applicability, benefiting from AI's code generation, debugging capabilities, and analytical assistance with data.
And admin roles.
Even traditional office and administrative support roles like brokerage clerks, ticket agents, and telephone operators are significantly impacted as AI streamlines information processing, scheduling, and basic communication. Finally, Knowledge-intensive roles such as public relations specialists, historians, political scientists, and news analysts are high on the list, leveraging AI for rapid research, content creation, and nuanced analysis of information.
That's quite a diverse list, but the common thread seems clear.
It is. What's truly fascinating here is that despite their diverse fields, these occupations all share a common thread. They predominantly involve processing, generating, and communicating information, which, as we've discussed, are AI's core demonstrated strengths.
It's striking how consistently these roles appear. Now let's flip the coin. What about the other end of the spectrum? Which jobs are currently least impacted by the capabilities of generative AI, and what do they generally have in common? What kinds of work still seem to be firmly in the human domain, at least for now?
At the other end of the spectrum, the occupations with the lowest AI applicability scores are those that primarily involved direct physical interaction, significant manual labor, or operating highly specialized machinery.
The hands-on jobs.
Precisely. These are the jobs where hands-on engagement with the physical world or direct human presence is paramount. These include occupations requiring physical interaction with people, such as nursing assistants, home health aides, and massage therapists.
Caregiving roles.
Right. Their work is fundamentally hands-on, requiring touch, empathy, physical care, and direct human presence that current AI simply cannot replicate. You can't get a virtual massage.
True enough. What else?
Similarly, roles focused on operating or monitoring complex machinery like water treatment plant and systems operators, pile driver operators, and industrial truck and tractor operators show very low applicability.
Why is that? Can't AI monitor systems?
Well, while AI can inform these operations, perhaps by providing data or alerts, it's not currently driving the heavy machinery or directly managing the physical processes in a granular, real-time way that these roles require.
Got it. And general manual labor.
And of course, other forms of manual labor like dishwashers, roofers, and maids and housekeeping cleaners are at the bottom of the list. These jobs are inherently physical, often repetitive, and require manipulation of the real-world tasks that large language models are simply not designed to do.
So for now, physical work is largely untouched by LLMs.
Largely, yes. But this raises an important question. While this study focuses specifically on LLMs, it's critical to remember that other forms of AI, like robotics or specialized industrial automation, could certainly impact these physical or machinery-oriented roles in the future.
Good point. This study is about Copilot and LLM.
Exactly. But for the AI being studied here, Copilot, that's just not what it's currently doing or capable of. To broaden the view even further, looking at the Standard Occupational Classification, SOC, major groups, these are the 22 broad categories under which every occupation falls. We see consistent trends.
What do the broad groups show?
The top 3 broad groups by AI applicability are sales and related, computer and mathematical, and office and administrative support.
That aligns with the specific jobs mentioned.
It does, and it's particularly significant that sales and office administrative support are also 2 of the largest employment groups in the U.S. workforce, meaning AI's impact here is substantial across a vast number of workers.
And the lowest groups, still physical.
Yes. This contrasts sharply with the lowest groups like healthcare support, farming, fishing and forestry, and construction and extraction. This perfectly reinforces the findings about the core distinction between cognitive, information-based work and physical, hands-on labor. The patterns are consistent at every level of granularity.
That's a great distillation of the broad trends. Now, we discussed the user goal versus AI action distinction for individual activities, but how does that play out across entire occupations? Are there jobs where AI is primarily assisting the human's goals, but not performing the work directly, and vice versa? This could offer some powerful insights into future role transformations.
Absolutely. The study provides some clear examples of this occupational level split, reinforcing the nuanced roles AI plays and how it shapes the nature of work within different professions.
Okay, let's hear about jobs where AI assists more than it performs.
For occupations where AI is primarily providing assistance to the user, high user goal applicability, but not performing the work itself, low AI action applicability, we primarily find roles with a significant physical component where AI can assist with information or planning but doesn't perform the physical work. Think about cooks or animal breeders. AI can assist a cook by providing recipes, nutritional information, or ingredient substitutions, or even suggesting cooking techniques.
Helping plan the work.
Right. It can help an animal breeder with care guides, dietary plans, or breed-specific information. The user goal, in these cases, is to perform the physical act of cooking or breeding, which the AI can provide invaluable information for. But the AI doesn't physically perform the cooking or breeding itself.
So it supports the human doing the physical task.
Exactly. The AI is a valuable informational support, making the human more efficient, but not an executor of the core physical task.
Okay. And what about the opposite, where AI performs more than it assists the user's main goal?
Conversely, for roles where AI is more likely to be performing actions, high AI action applicability, but not primarily assisting the user's goal, low user goal applicability, we see occupations focused on direct teaching, training, managing, and communicating, where the AI itself acts in that direct service role.
Like training managers.
Examples include training and development managers, coaches and scouts, or HR specialists. In these scenarios, the AI might be generating comprehensive training modules, drafting specific coaching advice for an employee, or writing detailed HR policy explanations.
So it's creating the informational output directly.
Exactly. The AI is performing the informational or advisory aspect of the job directly, acting as a surrogate for some of those human-to-human communication or instructional tasks. This highlights how AI can directly serve an informational or educational function, generating the content directly, rather than just being a tool the human uses to do their own work. It's almost like having a subject matter expert AI on standby.
This study gives us real-world usage data, which is incredibly valuable, as you said. It's not just a theoretical exercise. How does it stack up against earlier, more predictive work about AI's labor market impact, like the well-known Elon do it all? GPTs or GPT's paper from last year. Do the predictions hold true in practice?
This is a crucial point for validating previous research and building confidence in our understanding of AI's trajectory. And the short answer is, remarkably well.
Really? The predictions match the reality?
The study found a significant and frankly reassuring alignment between their real-world usage data from Copilot and the earlier predictions made by Elon et al. Specifically, the occupation-level correlation between their predictions and this study's measurements of AI applicability is 0.73.
0.73. That's quite strong.
It is. That's a strong correlation indicating a clear relationship. What's even more remarkable, and truly gives us confidence, is that when you aggregate occupations to the broadest occupational group level, those 22 SOC major groups we discussed, that correlation increases to a remarkably high 0.91.
Wow, 0.91. Almost perfect alignment at the broad level.
It really is. This is almost a perfect match. What this means is that, broadly speaking, the initial theoretical predictions about which types of jobs will be most impacted by large language models are largely borne out in actual observed usage data.
So the early thinking was generally on the right track.
It seems so. The earlier theoretical work was quite prescient in identifying the areas where LLMs would find their foothold. Of course, there are always some minor divergences. This study's method might over-extrapolate for some roles, for example, passenger attendants, where AI can provide information, but perhaps isn't as central to their core job as the applicability score might suggest.
And maybe the predictions missed some things.
Right. Conversely, Elon et al. Might have missed some potential uses for other roles, like market research analysts, where AI's capabilities are proving more impactful in practice than initially predicted. But these are minor deviations within a generally strong alignment, which gives us confidence in both sets of findings and strengthens the overall narrative of AI's impact on knowledge work.
That strong correlation is truly powerful validation. Now, shifting to a couple of persistent questions everyone asks. What about AI's impact on wages and education? Does AI applicability correlate strongly with higher paying jobs or more educated workforces, as some might intuitively assume? Is AI making the rich richer, or is it more broadly impactful?
This is a widely debated and often emotionally charged topic, and the study offers some very interesting, nuanced insights that might challenge simple assumptions.
Okay, let's start with wages. Does high applicability mean high wages?
Regarding wage, what's fascinating here is that the study found a very weak and, frankly, inconsistent relationship between the AI applicability score and the average occupation wage.
Weak. How weak?
The employment-weighted correlation is only 0.07.
0.07. That's
Yeah.
tiny. Almost no correlation.
Exactly. That's exceptionally low, suggesting almost no direct linear relationship.
Why would that be? Intuitively, you might think knowledge work, which AI impacts, pays more.
Well, the reason for this weak correlation is partly due to the high AI applicability in high employment sectors like sales and office and administrative support.
Ah, those big groups you mentioned earlier.
Right. These groups, despite their high AI applicability in certain tasks, have relatively lower average wages compared to, say, highly specialized professional roles like neurosurgeons or quantum physicists. This broadens the impact across the wage spectrum, influencing that weak overall correlation. While there's a lot of variation across occupations, some high-wage jobs are highly impacted, others less so, the overall relationship between wage and AI applicability, when weighted by employment, is surprisingly weak.
So it's not just hitting the top earners.
No, it's not a clear-cut story of AI exclusively impacting high earners. Its reach is much broader across the economic landscape.
Okay, interesting. What about education levels? Is there a stronger link there?
On the other hand, there is a slightly stronger link with education.
How much stronger?
Occupations typically requiring a bachelor's degree tend to have higher average AI applicability scores, a mean of 0.27, compared to those with lower educational requirements, a mean of 0.19.
Okay, so about a 0.08 difference in the mean score. Noticeable, but maybe not huge.
It's noticeable, yes. This difference is more pronounced on the AI action side, suggesting AI performs more complex, cognitive tasks that are often associated with more educated roles.
But it's not a massive gap.
No. And it's crucial to note that this isn't a clear-cut divide by any means. There's still substantial overlap in applicability scores across all education levels, meaning AI's relevance isn't solely confined to highly educated professions.
So a trend towards higher applicability in more educated roles, but AI is relevant across the board.
That's a good summary. It's a trend, yes, but not an absolute rule that AI only benefits the highly credentialed. It's more widespread than that.
No study is perfect, and this one, despite its incredible strengths and empirical foundation, has some important limitations that are crucial for us to understand as we interpret the results.
Absolutely. Got to read the fine print.
What are the holes in this study, and what can't it definitively tell us? This is vital for you, the listener, to keep in mind when applying these insights.
Understanding the limitations is just as important as understanding the findings. The authors are commendably transparent about these, and they're critical for responsible interpretation and avoiding overextrapolation.
Okay, lay them out for us. What's the first big one?
First, a major limitation is the single LLM data source. The study only analyzes data from one widely used, publicly available LLM, Microsoft Bing Copilot.
So it's just looking at Bing Copilot use, not ChatGPT or Claude or others?
Correct. Different people use different LLMs like Claude, ChatGPT, or specialized industry-specific models for different purposes. The study itself notes that Copilot's usage differs substantially from Claude, for example, with Copilot showing less focus on programming and mathematical tasks.
So results might look different if they studied a different AI.
Potentially, yes. This means the findings are specific to this particular platform's usage patterns and might not fully represent the entire diverse AI market or all AI capabilities globally. It's a snapshot of one very important corner of the AI world.
Okay, single source. What else?
Second, there's the work versus leisure ambiguity.
Telling if someone's using it for their job or just for fun.
Exactly. It's impossible for the study to definitively determine if a conversation is purely work-related or for leisure. For instance, if someone asks for a recipe, are they a professional chef brainstorming a new menu, or just someone cooking dinner at home? If someone asks about a video game, are they a QA tester or just a gamer?
How did they handle that?
The study looked for work activities in any conversation, which might inadvertently overstate or misattribute AI applicability to purely professional contexts when the use was actually purely personal. The lines blur when you're looking at raw conversational data.
Got it. Work versus leisure is fuzzy. Limitation 3.
Third, while it measures task success and scope, it's difficult, if not impossible, to determine the magnitude of AI's overall impact on different work activities based solely on this conversation data.
Meaning how much time it saves or productivity it boosts?
Precisely. We don't get direct measurements of time savings or productivity gains from this dataset. We know what AI can do and how well it succeeds in those specific interactions, but not the degree to which it fundamentally changes the overall volume, efficiency, or economic value of work across an entire profession. It's about capability and usage, not the precise ROI.
Okay, so we know it's applicable, but not exactly how much it changes things quantitatively. What's next?
Fourth, there are limitations of the ONet database itself.
We talked about its strengths, but what are the weaknesses?
Well, while it's the gold standard in the U.S. for occupational analysis, it's inherently U.S.-centric, so the findings are primarily applicable to the U.S. labor market.
Okay, U.S. focus.
It may also lag behind current workplace realities, as job roles and activities evolve faster than any large official database can be updated.
Things change fast these days.
They do. And crucially, WONET doesn't fully capture what the study calls the connecting glue between tasks. The informal communication, critical thinking, strategic judgment, emotional intelligence, and human relationships that contribute immensely to work value and often differentiate top performers.
The soft skills and integration work.
Exactly. It also doesn't capture valuable tasks performed outside of formal occupations, such as extensive work at home, caregiving, or volunteering. It's a formal framework, not a complete picture of human endeavor.
Okay, ONET isn't perfect. Any other major limitations?
Finally, and this is perhaps the most obvious point, but always worth reiterating, the study is a snapshot in time.
AI is moving fast.
Incredibly fast.
Yeah.
AI capabilities are rapidly evolving at an almost dizzying pace. What's applicable and successful today might change significantly tomorrow or next year as models improve, new architectures emerge, and novel applications are discovered. This means the frontier of AI's relevance to work is constantly moving, making any single study a temporary but incredibly valuable benchmark.
Those limitations are crucial for framing our understanding. So taking all of this information into account, the strengths, the trends, the surprising findings, and the limitations, what does this all mean for you, the professional listening right now? How can you use this report to help improve what you do, both in the short term, thinking about the next 6 to 18 months, and then looking further down the road beyond that 18-month horizon? This is where analysis turns into action.
This is indeed where the rubber meets the road. Understanding this data isn't just academic curiosity. It's a strategic advantage for your career. It's about being proactive, not reactive.
Okay, let's start with the short term. 6 to 18 months. What should people be doing now?
In the short term, over the next 6 to 18 months, the key message is to truly embrace augmentation, not just automation. This means actively integrating AI as a powerful co-pilot in your daily workflows.
How specifically?
Focus on AI's strengths. Proactively integrate AI into your daily tasks where Copilot demonstrated high satisfaction, completion, and scope. This emphatically means using AI for information gathering, writing, editing, and content creation.
The stuff it's good at, according to the study.
Exactly. Think of AI as your personal research assistant, rapidly pulling data from vast sources, your first drafter for reports, emails, or marketing copy, or your meticulous proofreader catching errors you might miss.
So practical first steps.
Start small. Next time you need to summarize a long article or draft a tricky email, turn to an LLM. Experiment with different prompts, learn its quirks. Don't be afraid to try it out. Also, leverage AI as a coach or advisor. Remember, the study found AI is often performing these service to the user actions, like explaining and advising.
Use it to learn or explain things.
Yes, use AI to help you explain complex topics to colleagues or clients by having it break down concepts, prepare informational materials for presentations by structuring your points, or even train yourself on new concepts by asking it to teach you, quizzing you, or explaining things from a different angle. It's a fantastic, always-on tutor.
Okay, use its strengths, use it as a coach. What else short term?
Identify your personal IWAs. Take a moment to genuinely consider the specific intermediate work activities that make up your job description and your daily tasks.
Figure out where your job overlaps with the study's findings.
Right. Are they on the high applicability list we discussed? If your role involves a lot of gathering information, writing material, developing content, or providing information to clients, then those are prime areas to experiment immediately with Copilot or similar LLMs. Be honest about where AI can genuinely lift the burden.
And finally, for the short term.
Strategize around AI's current weaknesses. For tasks where Copilot currently receives lower satisfaction or scope like complex, nuanced data analysis requiring deep interpretation or intricate, aesthetically demanding visual design view, these are areas where your human expertise is currently irreplaceable and highly valued.
Focus on where humans still excel.
Double down on refining your skills in these domains. Similarly, for tasks requiring direct, nuanced human interaction, like deep client negotiations, empathetic counseling, or creative team leadership, or physical execution, AI serves only as an assistant. Focus on honing those uniquely human skills. AI can help you prepare with information, but it can't execute the interpersonal dynamics or physical craft.
So lean into AI's strengths, use it as a coach, know your tasks, and focus on human strengths where AI is weak. That's the short-term plan.
It's a good summary for the next 6 to 18 months, yeah.
Okay, now let's look further out. Beyond 18 months, what's the long-term play here? Things will change even more by then.
Looking further down the road, beyond 18 months, the focus shifts to cultivating deep adaptability and uniquely human-centric skills that AI simply cannot replicate, even as it improves. This is about building a future-proof foundation for your career.
Adaptability and human skills. How do we cultivate those?
First, continuous learning is key. Recognize that AI is a moving frontier. What AI can do today will expand significantly tomorrow.
Assume constant change.
Absolutely. Stay intensely curious about new AI capabilities and how they might shift the applicability to your profession. Regularly reevaluate how your core job functions intersect with evolving AI. This isn't a one-time learning event. It's a career-long commitment.
How can people stay current?
Consider subscribing to industry newsletters focused on AI, experimenting with new models as they emerge, and staying connected to communities discussing AI's impact. Be proactive about learning.
Okay, lifelong learning. What else long-term?
Prioritize the connecting glue. The study highlighted that ONET doesn't capture the connecting glue between tasks, that intangible human element that adds immense value. This is precisely where your long-term value lies.
Develop the skills AI can't do.
Exactly. Develop and refine skills that AI struggles with. Complex interpersonal relationships, strategic decision-making that requires human judgment and ethics, truly creative problem-solving outside of existing patterns, emotional intelligence, cross-functional collaboration, leadership, and hands-on physical execution.
The uniquely human differentiators.
Right. These are the abilities that build trust, inspire innovation, and navigate ambiguity. Think about how you build bridges between departments, resolve conflict, or mentor junior colleagues. That's your gold.
Got it. Prioritize the human glue. Next.
Anticipate new roles and refactoring. Be open to the idea that your job responsibilities might refactor over time, or that entirely new occupations might emerge.
Your job might change, or new jobs might appear.
Think proactively about how you can shift your skill set and focus towards tasks that leverage AI's strengths while foregrounding your uniquely human capabilities. Perhaps becoming an AI whisperer in your field, a human-AI collaboration specialist who designs new workflows, or a strategic integrator who weaves AI into complex business problems.
Maybe managing the AI or integrating it strategically.
Your role might shift from executing tasks to orchestrating AI. Be open to that possibility.
Okay, anticipate role changes. And the final long-term advice.
Critical thinking as your superpower. AI provides information and insights, often at lightning speed. But your ability to critically evaluate that information, synthesize diverse perspectives, question assumptions, identify biases, and apply that knowledge to complex, messy, real-world scenarios is more vital than ever.
AI gives answers. Humans ask why and what if.
Precisely. The human element of why it matters, what are the ethical implications, when relevant to your field, and what's next for us remains paramount. AI is a powerful tool, but it lacks true judgment, nuanced, contextual understanding, and empathy. That's unequivocally your domain.
To sharpen your critical thinking.
Cultivate your ability to ask the right questions, not just get the right answers from the AI.
And there you have it, our deep dive into the Microsoft research study on AI's fascinating and profound occupational implications. We set out to clarify AI's real-world impact on occupations, explore the study's nuances, including its vital limitations, and most importantly, provide actionable steps for you, the professional, navigating this rapidly evolving landscape.
Remember, this isn't just passive information. It's a strategic tool for your professional journey. It's about being proactive, about leaning into change, and about understanding where your unique human value truly lies.
The study shows us that AI isn't necessarily coming for your job, but it is certainly coming for your tasks.
That's a key takeaway.
The real question isn't whether AI will change your work, but how you will choose to adapt and reskill to leverage its strengths and double down on your uniquely human value. How will you define and strengthen the connecting glue, that intangible human element in your future profession? Something to mull over until our next deep dive.